this year's Public Forum features, which is green, digitalization, and also service trade. Which is your favorite, and why do you think it really matters? Xiao Ming?
Yeah, as a global leader in the ICT sector, definitely digitalization is one of our key focus. After more than 4 decades of innovations, we have been serving 1/3 of this world population. Digitalization, we feel, play a significant role in transforming our daily lives as well for the different industries. We feel so proud that we are contributing a lot.
But Kas, you are coming in from a very different perspective because you are leading one of the leading chamber of commerce among ASEAN economies from Thailand. So tell me the 3 topics, which one to you and your colleagues most important?
I think they are all very important and they go hand in hand. But if you remember, back in 2022 when Thailand was hosting the APEC summit, the theme of that year was the bio, circular and green economy that Thailand actually push and promote. So that was one of the thing that is very important, and it's more so even now, with the green and the whole BCG and the whole ESG, and more importantly, that is the greater picture is the environmental business. Green makes good business. I think people have to come to terms with that, and it's something that we all must do. It's not a matter of if, it's where we have to do it.
Yeah, we have to do it, and there are a lot of people already doing it. You see the conversation taking place in the hall of the WTO building and also here along the lake. Many are focusing on the green, but the green also has some challenges, quote unquote. For example, some of the tariffs, one economy would slash on another economy unilaterally, and the list goes on. How do you see, as a Chamber of Commerce, these kind of obstacles? How do you work with your members and their business partners?
I think the most important thing is to get especially the MSMEs to be aware of what is going on, the changes that are coming, and it will affect them directly sooner more than later. And they have to be aware of the changes, and they have to upgrade and update their production, their value cycles, that they have to comply to this new sort of environmental requirements. And if not, they are going to be having trouble exporting to some of these markets that are slapping different tariffs or raising some taxes on different goods, and not just because of your products, but also the value chain and your supply chain of your products. So these are very important things to come. But for the developed economy, I think it's also important to know that they should, it's like a handicap system in golf, if some countries' development is at a different stage of development, so you have to be mindful, and there are some handicaps that you have to provide, and for the learning process, the adjustment process, you're going to slap a big tax on environmentally sensitive products. It doesn't help these developing countries. Every country just came out of the pandemic, and every government is facing a very high debt issues and trying to revitalize their own economies and the backdrops of a very slow economy worldwide, and the other interest rate, high inflation, high interest rate economy. It's a challenge, a big challenge. I think maybe we have to relook at this and try to understand each other and see how we can help the whole world grow together.
That's a great point. Related to that, may I just follow up a little bit, because ASEAN is trying to play a pivotal role right now when the geopolitics is becoming ever more complex and become a component of the global supply chain when it comes to green. I know that many of your economies in the ASEAN region, especially Thailand, is play an active role. For example, working with China, try to complement one another on the green supply chain in the region and beyond. How does that work so far? Do you think the outside world really understand these kind of dynamic stories?
We are embracing a lot of changes and new technology, innovation, digitization with China. And China has brought a big and rapid changes, especially on electric vehicles. You can see that, and that has a big change factor to the entire region and beyond. I think there are a lot that we can showcase. ASEAN need to pack together more and actually be a bit more vocal in terms of what we need and what we don't, because of this. I wouldn't want to say it's not very productive geopolitical tensions between the big boys, but whatever it is happening. How does the small little countries react and adapt to this new reality? I think that is where ASEAN as a pact would represent a bigger voice and try and learn and help each other to weather through this period.
Xiao Ming, also on some of the, list of controversies that you see about trade all over the world. As a telecommunication company, I'm sure you feel the temperature, to speak the least. But how do you see business leaders and entrepreneurs should be consistent, resilient, and at the same time flexible, passionate about what you need to and willing to achieve?
Our market is kind of a bit shrinking because we used to be faced a truly global market, and now our main focus is in the emerging markets. But as a result, as a country, CT has achieved a better result than beforehand because we are having growth. How we achieved it? Because we were focusing on innovation, and especially after the pandemic, you can see telco service become really essential for our daily lives.
Oh, yes.
So the investments in the telco sector continues, and especially after the war, there will be an energy crisis. Then drives up the new energy stuff. That gears we are also making, the digital energy stuff, we're able to offer to the global market. And also the AI-driven digitalization process has an essential need for the greater computing power. As a computing infrastructure provider, that we continue developing such kind of solutions helped us to mitigate this kind of risk and compensated those loss in the greater marketplace.
With technological gaps, many of the developing countries and the least developed economies are likely to be further left behind in this round of industrial revolution. And that is a huge concern because that could mean so many future problems. From your perspective, what are some of the things they urgently need? And how do you help and support the people that you're working with to incrementally develop their skills and capacity, but at the same time with speed?
We definitely are going to continue promoting the free trade, and we are also pursuing for a more aggressive but healthier competition. And then together with our, during the whole supply chain, together with our partners, we will be able to provide, more advanced and more economic solutions to those especially smaller countries or challenging communities. They can enjoy the best technology of this time.
I think there are many areas that would move very quickly, especially in digitization. You see in banking, access to banking, it's all on mobile unit, on mobile phones. AI will change a lot of things. AI will change not only how we do things, but everything will be affected, and it's going to go so fast that...
What does that mean for business leaders
Yeah.
you and your colleagues, for example?
That is what is a real worry. Even in regulating international organizations such as the WTO, regulating AI, what is the right regulation? How do we balance the regulation between and not stifling the innovation? There are a lot of access. There are so many new issues that are coming on so quickly.
From the business perspective, what do you think are the most crucial advice / suggestions that you can provide to the WTO, the largest international trade system?
I think a forum as such is so important. I think they need to do more and engage. I think engagement is the key word here. How do you, come out, prescribe a policy without having listened to all the stakeholders that are involved? businesses, society, academia. There are so many stakeholders in the policies that we're going. And I think we heard the World Trade Report that is not just the trade policy. A lot has to do with the domestic policies that has to complement with the trade policies. I think this is quite a key word. It's important because every government is now retreating, in fact, to try and close up their borders and to try and look inwards, which is detrimental to international trades. And as Xiao Ming here was mentioning, how do we open even more trade? How do we have an open access, an open market? And at the same time, when most governments and economies are trying to retreat from that, I think it's coming to a forum like this that we have to share and voice some of these developments that should go the way.
Sometimes the voice of the governments are disproportionately being distributed compared to voices from other stakeholders. As a business leader, how do you see you and your colleagues can contribute to the real discussion about future trade policies?
A lot of challenges in front of us. If we don't proactively join the event like this, or continue talking with the local key governmental policy stakeholders and policymakers,
Right.
I think we're going to lose the chance to let them understand how critical the right policy for trade. So we'll continue to be more engaged in this kind of events. Vocal.
Together, we need to work together more than fragmenting our economy. I think ASEAN represents still a promising bloc. We need to assert ourselves more. We need to elevate the status and make it known to the world that this is a good example of how we can coexist, work together, and not fight. And then we adopt and we share best practices, share best policies to build a better place for everyone.